A 19-year-old woman was killed and dismembered during a first date. Scary. I'm going to discuss the details of this story and 2 dating lessons that we can learn from this story to improve our relationship life. Here are the details. The victim was a beautiful 19-year-old college student named Sade Robinson, who was pursuing a career in criminal justice. Unfortunately, before she got the chance to reform the system, she was the victim of a major crime. On April 1st, Sade went on a first date to a local seafood restaurant with a 33-year-old bartender named Maxwell Anderson. According to CNN, Sade was very excited to go on this date and told her friends. She even told her date Anderson that she wanted seafood, and Anderson suggested that they go to a spot that he used to work at. It all seemed to be going great until she didn't show up for work the next day. According to CNN, her co-worker suspected that something was wrong because it's extremely unlike her to not show up for work. She worked at a pizza shop called Pizza Shuttle, and her manager shared that they knew something was up and had been calling her all day. Eventually, one of Robinson's friends got concerned and called the police that night. According to CNN, police did a welfare check at her residence, but they couldn't find her. This is where the story gets crazy, so hold your boots. She was last seen at the restaurant, so the restaurant closed for 3 days while they did an investigation, and the evidence was interesting. CNN shares that the morning after her date with Anderson, her car was set on fire and completely damaged the interior of her car, according to the criminal complaint. Allegedly, they were able to recover her clothing that she was wearing the night before, and part of her iPhone was burned. Later that date, CNN shares that more terrible evidence was discovered. A human leg was discovered in the community at the beach in Milwaukee, and according to the criminal complaint, it was identified as Sade's body parts. Unfortunately, it didn't end there. It appears that her date allegedly sawed off her legs by the hip. So sad. Police discovered the rest of her body cut up in areas surrounding her car that he hid, according to the criminal complaint. It appears that Sade did have some safety measures on her date. CNN shares that they were able to track where she went after her date because she shared her location with her mother and friend. Good job, Sade. Phone records show that Robinson's phone traveled the night of April 1st from the seafood restaurant to a nearby sports bar and then to Anderson's home. And then at the end, the last location was at the park where they found her body and her remains. CNN shares that Wisconsin authorities charged her date Maxwell Anderson with first-degree intentional homicide, humiliating a corpse, and arson. He could face life in prison for these charges, thankfully. I hope she gets justice and he goes to jail forever, because this is so uncool. And it looks like the police thankfully have a lot of evidence according to the criminal complaint, including surveillance video evidence, witness accounts, and phone records. Authorities allegedly found blood in Anderson's house as well, and several gasoline containers, allegedly. This is the hardest story that I've reported on, and it really saddens my heart. At first I was like, I'm going to share that we should always send our friends our location on WhatsApp or another app so that they know where we are, and that can protect us from a situation like this. But as I did research, it's like Sade did do this. The criminal complaint shares that her location was shared with her mom and her friend, and I'm sure she thought she was safe and people watching her. But something like this still happened to her. So what are 2 lessons that we can learn from this? Number 1, never bring back a stranger to your house after just meeting them. According to the criminal report and the location sharing app, it appears that they went to a bar after dinner and she brought him home after drinking. In the age of Tinder and Hinge, it's common to hook up and bring someone to your home after a first date, but this is a reminder that it can be dangerous as hell, especially in gayland on apps like Grindr. I know so many people, including myself when I was younger, who sent people my location without knowing them, and I had them come over to my house, like Uber Eats for eggplant. before going on a date and knowing who they are. And this normalized culture of prioritizing and focusing on sex and not considering or protecting ourselves from obvious danger is not okay. No stranger should ever know where we live without you getting to know them for a while. I think we need to go back to the era where there was no sex before a relationship, or even to the higher extent, marriage, if you can last that long. Because hooking up, sex, getting drunk with someone is not worth your life. The second lesson is don't get drunk or drink a lot on your first date. A toxicology report has not been released yet, but I'm speculating that Sade and Maxwell went to the bar to get drunk, as most people do at the bar. This is a reminder for us to not get drunk because it lowers our inhibitions and decision-making skills. And when you're with a stranger or obviously like a killer like this one, that puts us at risk. And I know so many people who get drunk at a party or a club and disappear and go with a stranger to have sex at their house, leaving their friends. This is a common phenomenon, especially for young people my age. Dating and hook up with a stranger is a major risk, and we get to do different and listen to stories like these to be careful. This story makes me want to be more careful with my sex life and to at least go on 3-4 dates to at least get a good vibe to see if this person is okay. We all have a very strong intuition, and if we only meet strangers on dates in public and avoid bringing them homes or inviting them to our car and delaying having sex with them early on, I think we will have a better chance of getting to know if this is a good person or not. This is a cautionary tale. Don't bring them home. Overall, this is such a sad story, and I hope that you all learned from these lessons to help our dating life and to limit situations like these. I hope stories like these don't close you off to love due to its risks, but I hope it helps us be a lot more intentional, careful, and go slow, because when we go fast, it puts us at risk. Like and subscribe for more content like this. My intention is to help everyone improve their dating lives and to live the life of our dreams. Oh, have a beautiful day.